Good afternoon and welcome to the final game of day 2 of the 2023 Junior State Cup Northern Conference. We're here, 18 boys. Central Coast taking on the Manly Warringah Seagulls. I'm joined, as David alluded to before, in commentary with Jason Stanton. And Jason, last game of the day, there'll be some weary legs here heading into finals day, but it should also be a cracking game.
Yeah, they can't afford weary legs in this one, Nathan, because this is going to mould the makeup of finals day. These two absolute class teams, and from what we saw from Central Coast earlier today, Manly's going to have to be every percent of their best performance.
And you'll probably hear the Venga boys in the sound effects mic, and hopefully yep, they're moving away, which is great. So here we are as Central Coast running left to right in the navy blue on the left of screen, and on the attack through Elars. He was prominent in the game before, and you've got Hunt at dummy half, and he gets the quickie back. A Manly tight ball out the back. Walking and tossing it over. And Manly and Warringah get a stop in their first set.
Yeah, good read by Bridgewood, and that could set the tone. You want to play out the back, you want to play deep. The winger's going to strike, come charging in like that. That's what we call a strike, and great work there by Bridgewood. That's going to set the tone.
As the Seagulls now get up near halfway, and a good drive forward there from Max King-Gibbons, and get the dump, and there's Masters, doesn't pick it up. So just a quick shout out to Matt Scranage, who's tuning in, and it's good to see you tuning in, Scrano. I haven't seen you at the fields this weekend. I'm sure you're probably on holidays out and about, but hope you're well. As Riley Jones, you think they'll try a little sneak play down the wing, Jace? That could be on.
I'm not sure. We saw it. There's a lot of speed. We saw that, so don't be surprised. This is Walker. Walker's been outstanding through 2 days' play.
And he's offside, and they go long and over the top, and they turn them away again, the Seagulls. And Central Coast so far probably a little bit not as sharp as what they were against the Piranhas.
Yeah, Central Coast might need to sort of feel the way into it, but Manly come out here, beautiful dump there by Masters. Manly come out here through the big tunnel with all their club supporting. They know it's a big game. You know, they're looking at Renegades, Peninsula. There's lots of strong teams in this division, and Manly want to be there at the end.
And the ball's picked up by Long, and Long looks to take him on. Long, and he flicks it out the back. Referee Sanderson says penalty, and the Coast will take the tap here through Truscott Jones, and he'll look towards in the box, and up over halfway, and another chance to attack, and here they come. That's post now with the locks flowing, and play on, and that's Elars at dummy half. He's going to look for Walker, and he's going to go the counties in. He gets the counties, and long pass over the top. Hands by Kesby.
Great save from Manly. Manly out wide. They're going to be able to absorb this, and I mentioned it yesterday, so apologies if you're already tuned in, but the counties play, we're talking about the middle link dump, and then break into the long side or the open side, getting a quick release from the ground. So we're probably going to see a bit of that from this Central Coast team today.
I think Elars will be a keen exponent of that one, and they come on, and here's jersey 14, Kobe Reed. He's got the Willie Mason circa 2002. As the ball's picked up by Masters, he almost trips over his own feet, but he regains and is touched.
He's a little bit off balance there, Masters, but I like what I'm seeing early from Masters, because he seems quite composed. He's not too flustered. He knows he's got his job to do, not too animated. I like that, so I might be keeping my eyes here on the number 4 for Manly, Masters.
There's post, and gets to the box, and Truscott Jones gets up over, and this is a good drive through by O'Brien. The ball's picked up, and that's picked up by Buckley, and he gives it back to O'Brien, back to Buckley. Buckley looks, he stands him up, out the back. Here we go. They've got space, the Dolphins. And there's Hunt. And Manly at the moment, they're scrambling, and they're giving it everything.
Yeah, Manly's hanging in there. So what the challenge we're going to see here, you know I'm real big on the tempo, Nath. The challenge we're going to see here is Manly have got to try and hold this. They've got to hold it for 25 minutes. Central Coast are going to feel their way into the game and build and build and build. Manly's got to somehow try and hold this.
And they're going to go forward. And there's Long taking the meters. Ball picked up. He's looking for it. He goes long over the top. It's a good turn and chase by Riley Jones. And it's Carter Seng-Chan who catches it, and he's touched, and it's a very good turn and chase by Riley Jones. And there's O'Brien taking the ball forward, and they go what we call the front door to Truscott Jones. I'll head to the box. There's Hunt, and he gets up over the 10 and looking to get up over halfway, and they do. The Manly side just sort of standing there, no real roll or intensity off, and there's Walker, and he'll play it, and Elas picks it up. He stands, he steps. Walker in the bat on. He should have caught the ball. He chose to bat.
A little bit impatient, Nathan. One of the things we've been talking about, and it's probably more sort of, I guess, prevalent in the 18s boys division, is that, you know, they know so many moves. There's tap on, there's long balls and all that. And sometimes just a little bit calmer, maybe running a second phase, like an additional dump, or just going through the hands. That probably is the play. So I think in this game, for example, whoever can latch onto that second phase idea or calm down a bit, I think can do well.
I think you saw it in both the country champs. Obviously, we were there, country champs of Borden Cup, so they're our two senior competitions held, the Borden Cup on a Friday night through July through to October, November, and then the country champs, which is the country state cup, pretty much held in October on the Central Coast. Now, what that in the Opens particularly, which a lot of these guys will be in the systems and things like that at their respective clubs, is that the second phase sort of started to come back in a little bit, and it started to be a little bit more of something they go to, and I think it's still so effective, but it's still, as you said, like you mentioned a few times this weekend, where instead of the bat on, instead of catching, just showing that extra bit of maturity and just catching and going down and watching them play off that and how effective it can actually be.
Well, when you've got a 25-minute game, that's why I sort of mentioned a bit about the tempo, is you want to, like, you can always try that stuff later in the game, but in the first 5-10 minutes, just keep it quite direct. This is a good play here.
Long.
Had him the other way. I thought he was going to pump and go to the top of your screen.
Looks
it wasn't to be.
Long, and there's Kings Gibbon. He fires, interception. He'll get up to the 7, and they'll take the advantage here, and Manly here at 6s and 7s at the moment. But the boys from the coast here sort of settle it down, and that'll be O'Brien taking it to the box, and he gets a helping hand over it, and Walker, and he comes charging onto the middle of the field, and they'll look to get the run here, and there's Walker. Walker will play the ball. You got Hunt at half. Hunt picks it up, gives it back to Walker, and there's the roll from Manly back to the line. There's Walker, who'll get it back. They come to the middle through Walker, and he goes for the big slide. And good touch by Manly. And
they're hanging in there, aren't they, Nath? They're hanging in there, the Eagles.
End-to-end stuff here. This is the 18s boys. Second last round game. The final round will conclude tomorrow morning. And we have a penalty to the Eagles and a good driving set.
Yeah, it is. You see, Central Coast to me are... definitely, I don't know the rankings earlier, but they look to be more fancy, like the number one team coming into this game. And Manly have been able to scrap and hang in there and stay in it. So I'd love to see them get down there, maybe a second phase try or something against the grain, against the flow, something a bit different. Get a try and really set this game alight.
It's currently 1v4 in the pool, the Coast on top, and Masters will get the quickie back. He looks to step, and Dummy's working with Keane, and I'll go middle again, and Masters looking with Keane. He's also got Truman out here. Truman picks it up, and he's looking. He steps back and throws long over the top here to Seng-Chan. This is last touch, and Truman's there, and he'll pick it up and see if they can come up with anything on the last. Masters off his right, almost falls over. He does fall over.
I think Manly would have liked to have that set again. They probably didn't ask enough questions in that set. But just very quickly, though, when we're talking about second phase, or, you know, you hear this sort of language a bit, what we're saying is, say you did a quick release with your middles. If you pass it from the ground, if that middle dives to score or looks to pass, that's like the first phase. If they look to pass back to someone and that person dumps again, that's the second phase. That's what we're talking about, and that's where we're identifying, I think, an opportunity here in the 18s boys games of where we can open up these scrambling defences.
And the Coast on the attack, and there's Elas, and Post gives it off the ground. Elas, he's quick, and I think they're going to have to go a penalty there for Long being offside. And referee Alec Clark goes that way as
I think it was a close call whether the feet were, you know, whether square feet over the ball there. So that went the way of Elas, but the ref will be watching that for sure.
It's Keane, actually, not Long, so apologies to young Blake, who's currently on the side at the moment. It's Maxi Keane out there that's trying to take on Elars, and there he goes again in defence. He gets back, and some good work by Max Keane in defence, and Masters up there again. They go over the top, long pass out. This is touch and go. Has he got him? He's almost ended up over the fence. That's a great touch. Tobias Mayhew. And there's Buckley. Steps off his right, and they throw it there, and they almost concede that set. The Coast and Manly. We're 10 minutes in. If you would have told me at the start, Jason, that this would have been 0-0 after nearly 10 minutes, I would have told you, go and buy me a Guzmani Gomez burrito.
Mate, let me tell you, Manly's performance and the Guzmani burritos are both top shelf. Is it the number 12? Is it Seng Chan? I'm saying that right? Wow, that's beautiful defence. He's everywhere. I think he's marking 2 or 3 players out there.
And Long will get to play the ball, and there's Reed, picks it up, he fires it! What a ball! The Eagles are in!
That was an absolute bullet, Nathan.
Oh, and Baxter Stewart, welcome. They're doing the Eagle Rock in the grandstand. What a pass.
You can't see it on your screen, but the Manly supporters are going absolutely crazy. And we've got Dean Wilbo, one of the former greats of Australia, in his Central Coast gear, and he's trying to purchase a Manly hoodie because he wants to be with the winners. Dean Wilbo, he's walking around with a limp and got the wrong colours on.
And the Coast will look to hit back, and there's O'Brien. He dummies and stands there with Walker, and Charlie Walkerton there as well. He looks to come to the middle, and he picks it up, and he's through. Look at him go. He's got some speed. He's looking. Blake Long with a fantastic chase. Manly Warringah.
How many have been saved? Like we talk about saving a try is the same as scoring one. You know, and Manly have saved 3 or 4 tries. So
it's almost like they've got 9 players on the field, the Eagles.
Oh, they're doing really well.
There's a try scorer, Stewart.
I think there was
a touch there. He's claiming it, but not sure what happened there. And there's Long. Long will get up to the 10. The ball's picked up by Astor, and there's Masters on the field, and he's met in the line by O'Brien and Walkerton, and Masters will go forward, and they'll be looking here to work with King Gibbons, and they go the bump play, long pass, and Walkerton for the intercept.
Tried to sneak it through, and this is what I'm been super interested in sort of looking at these 18 boys games throughout the day. Central Coast, who I think is the team to beat, they're down by 1. I want to see how they respond, Nathan. Are they a championship team? Let's have a look. 13
Masters,
minutes.
Bit of pressure here applying here. They've got the blowtorch on, and Masters gets a quickie. He gets it back, steps back. The face! Stanton calls it. They go long. Oh, it's Houdini himself. Oh, Jason Stanton. We are close to the Manly box, and I think they are listening. Oh, the second phase play from the Eagles. Absolutely champagne football.
Yeah, we've got some of the players looking up at me saying, no, it wasn't. Yeah, I didn't. We do that play anyway. Good on you. I love seeing it. I'd like to see more of it. If you have the ability to run the quick release of direct plays, the long balls and second phase, you're going to be there come late Sunday for the grand final, let me tell you. That was superb play from the Manly Sea Eagles.
As we spoke about here, the blowtorch being applied. He steps under, does he? It's a great touch. Who's that? Maxi Keane, I think it's his birthday, Max Keane, and it's a great touch.
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, Maxi.
Manly, the energy. Well, they've held the energy now for 13 minutes. Can they hold it for another 12?
That is the question. As Long goes to the box, and he wants it. Go hard, and it's good contact there, good physical contact, and there he is, the birthday boy taking one of the box. Big cheer from the crowd as he comes off, and it's a great save in there, and Masters now working with Lugsden, and Lugsden plays it for Reed, and Reed picks up options galore, pops it. Has he caught it? No, he's popped over the top, and that little pop play, I think it's called a sinker. I think they call it the sinker.
Over the top. But what you're seeing here, Nathan, is that Manly are not. See how they're scoring. They're causing issues from non-conventional. They're not running quick release down. They're running drops into scoops, second phase. They're playing different style, and this is what's upsetting Central Coast, and they're going to have to respond. They've got plenty of time now. They've still got 10, 12 minutes, but As each minute goes by, that scoreboard pressure starts to mount on the Dolphins.
Okay, the county's fired. Intercept. Oh, it was coming. Here we go. He's up over the 10. Up in the ears back, son. He's over the 40. He's looking, Buckley. There's no need to look. Put down the glasses. Shut the gate. Central Coast hit back with an intercept.
Great work there by Buckley. Good read. Plucked it out of the sky. And he ran coast to coast. 70 metres for a touchdown in the corner, and the Dolphins are back.
2-1.
I'm getting a bit of engagement from the crowd. The Manly supporters are shaking their head at me. All right, the Dolphins are not back. No, it's actually really good to see the fans. I know you can't see them on the screen. They're all on this side of the stadium, but it's really good to see them engaged, having the fans come. And I think it's going to be even bigger tomorrow, finals day.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll have to start selling tickets, and I think I was going to say probably a little bit lucky there, a little bit fortunate there, Manly, with the attempted quickie, the ball rolling sideways, but they'll take that. The Eagles, they get the penalty, and Post will try and get up off the line. Long there dancing with, the big push unnecessary, but they get away with it. It's Truman working. Now Masters on with Long, and Long will play it. Masters picks it up. He steps back, looks to fire, probably just inside the 7, a little bit too close for that play, but they'll be looking for, I think it's jersey 7, King Gibbons out the back here, and they're going to go the bump play to give back Long. They've got space. Truman! Oh, the Truman show. He's over. Manly extend their lead.
I love that tight line, Nathan, and hopefully you're able to pick that up on the live stream. Rather than hitting the hole straight or even slightly, and he coming really aggressively, nice and tight, and it really makes it difficult for the winger because the winger's coming in to try and help shut down or save the try, but the line of the link makes it near impossible because he keeps leaving away and you're getting further away from the winger. So 3-1. Again, they've thrown down the gauntlet to the Dolphins, and they've said Manly is here to play.
And there he is, Buckley, the intercept, the try scorer. Out the back to Truscott Jones, and he picks it up off the bootlaces, and they'll get another opportunity. And there's Elars, and Hunt now working middle. Elars gets the ball back. He looks, he dummies, he holds it, and that's good defence. It's Oscar McMillan gets off the line, and the referee is going to blow the penalty, and he says he grabbed him, I think there. You're not sure without the luxury of a replay. I'd have to back the referee on that one, and they send in Walkerton now with Elars and Hunt, and Elars takes him on. He looks to stand him up, and he stands him up. Doesn't he, Watts? A little bit flat-footed there. Elars, too quick.
Wasn't that class? And that was the danger set for Manly because we're around that 8-9 minutes to go. 3-1. Manly were up, and they really needed to hold him out, but Central Coast showing their class. It's got back to 3-2. And I'm actually liking, this is good for the Dolphins because whether they get out of this game or not, this is going to serve them very well when it comes to high-pressure finals football tomorrow.
Well, as we saw earlier today, they weren't, whilst Peninsula, they tried really hard. They were very gutsy against them. They kept coming, but it just wasn't with the intensity that Manly have brought so far. As you said, 17 minutes have been all gung-ho here, and Masters picks it. They go in, Truman dives! Good touch.
Walker.
Jesse Walker.
Hasn't Walker been an absolute class performer? Can't wait to see him on finals day. He's had a great day 1 and day 2.
And they'll go the S down, and they give it back, and he touches, and that's ball away. Good defence, a good pressure by Charlie Walkerton there. And there's Hunt, the meter reader. He gets it up near the 10, and they pause, and a big step off the right there from Herring, and he's still going. It's a great run by Herring, and there's Kesby, and here comes Buckley on the field, and there's O'Brien. They go down, and there's Elars. He looks to dance, and he's got more moves. Flick pass out the back, inside, ball down, is it? No, the referees.
I think it might have been forward, was it? The referee seemed to be, he seemed to be up the field a little bit earlier. He wasn't waiting for the touch, so I don't know whether Central Coast have done a lot wrong, Nathan, like in terms of technically. I just think maybe they're fraction down on energy, and Manly Seagulls, for the moment, have out-enthused them.
And there's a nice little slip pass over his left shoulder without looking. There's a bit of energy from the coast, but Manly counter that, as you said. And I think Manly, they've showed all the way out 18 and a half minutes of pure energy here and adrenaline. It's been pumping. There's big physical contact. The ball's picked up. King's given flat pass. He scored, I think. I think, it was tight. I'd love to have a look at that again, but Riley Jones, who they believe is faster than lightning.
It was a close one, but the referee was in perfect position, so I'll probably back the ref on that one.
It was very tight, and it would have been another buffer for the Eagles, but here they go now, the Coast with post, and he'll give it under. There's Walker, and Walker done with their sweep, and he looks, Walker done, he dives. I think he's got there. No. Charlie's kicked it back to halfway. He was confident.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. If you think you're scoring, you kick it away. Is it a penalty or is it, sorry, no try, we'll let you kick it?
Not too sure of the interpretation. You can have a conversation with Matto later. And
Because I want to kick the ball. I want to know under what criteria I'm allowed to kick it.
Is that just to slow it down, is it? Just so you can have a breather? Is that?
Yes.
Walkerton comes off the line and shuts down King Gibbons, and there's Reed at halfway, and it's touch 4. They're going to look for a strike dump, and they go under. Reed's going to take off here. He does. He picks it up, and he gives it straight away to Masters. It's last. What do they got? Open play. He steps off the left. He's dangerous. Ball away. This is sharp from the Eagles. The big dummy inside from Seng Chan.
It's better
it's
play.
Asher.
Beautiful feet, beautiful pass from Masters, and that's that chain passing I'm talking about. That's composure. Better footy there from Manly. Didn't try too hard. Just completed the set, got it done.
Definitely didn't panic on the last. They had every right to try and throw the miracle ball, but they looked up and saw the opportunity, and it almost turned out desserts for them there as Elars goes, and they give the ball away, and Buckley throws it away, and Reed, good in defence there, pushes up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned if I was in the Dolphins camp. Look, they're fractionally off intensity, but the really good sign is that Manly are playing a top game here, and Coast are only down by 1. Can easily nab one back and tie this ball game up. So lots of good signs still on the Coast. Probably not their best game, but they're showing class by sticking with Manly, because Manly's kept the intensity up for 20-odd minutes now.
King Gibbons picks it up. He's got Elars. He basketballs long scores. Manly. King Gibbons to Blake Long. And Blake may need to borrow Mum's little arm cast here, I think, just to help him.
I come to this game talking up Central Coast. I doubted Manly, but you know what? Now I'm a believer.
But as you said, Jace, Central Coast, to be fair, haven't done a lot wrong. Manly have just met them here, and it's probably just a slight challenge that the Central Coast may not have been aware, or not aware necessarily, but they might have just missed the boat a little bit. And Manly's intensity has been great, but they're going to hit straight back, and Riley Jones, he's proving every game.
And that's just showing the class of the Dolphins, and that's why it's almost like, you know, we're watching the game and we're just waiting for Dolphins to come back and finish over the top, because we know how classy they are. And it's only been Manly's intensity, ferocity, going at them, would have kept Manly's nose in front. And now we've got a grandstand finish here. Is it 4-3? Have I got that right?
That's correct.
With 3 minutes to go, Manly, if they're not able to grab one here, I think hold on to your seat. If you're in the car, seatbelt, strap yourself in.
I think you got a quick shout out to Andrew Smith, who's tuning in online, just giving some referee feedback in regards to your kicking away question, but we won't get to that just yet. It would be a penalty for time wasting. I think Andrew's trying to say only if you did it. I think most of the time it's okay. Reed, quick head, Truman over the top, catch it, someone. Riley Jones, he's having an absolute humdinger of a game.
Manly are showing some skill and composure that we didn't see earlier in the tournament, Nathan. So great shout out to their crew and their coaches. This is what we need from Manly coming into finals day. Central Coast are well positioned, probably just a little bit more energy. They're not done yet.
Elars picks it up. They run a wing block with Kesby and Truscott Jones, and Manly just some very good in defence. And you can tell it's nice to see. And Manly, there's a big crowd here, as you mentioned. It's on this side. Look at that little pop. Great little hands. And there's Bridgewood. Bridgewood up over halfway. Here's his energy. And Bridgewood's been sniped just here and come down. And they'll go on the attack, Kim Gibbons. And long plays at King Gibbons. Picks it up. There's still space. He fires a long pass out of a cannon. What a step. There's a chance. There's numbers over. That's late. Had to be late.
Wow.
That was later than Sydney Trains, that pass.
We haven't seen this. It's a different team. Can someone check the registrations? I watched Manly play earlier in the tournament. I did not see any of this. Bring in the auditors, bring in the stewards. Is this a different team? Manly Sea Eagles here, putting on a show in the stadium field to finish off day 2.
As we hit near the final minute, this is where the clock starts to become the enemy for the Coast as Hunt picks the ball up. He dummies, and that's a great touch. James Lugsden makes a touch, and the Manly boys, they're just yelling, slow it down. This is a massive set in this game here. They just need to control the footy, the Eagles. No dummies here. They just need to tuck it under their wing and take it up. That's a clear touch on there, walking and claiming. But
Manly just need a 6 again or a penalty in its game. They've got to really have a good finish here, Manly.
It's a birthday boy, Maxi Keane, gives it back to Masters. Keane plays it. Masters picks it up. Step on that left and 31 seconds. What do they got? Can they level it up the Coast?
They're definitely good enough. Last throw of the dice for the Central Coast Dolphins. Now they've got the penalty they need.
Not sure they need to do that.
The time's ticking away from them.
The referee's trying to stop the game for verbal abuse or verbal anyway. They go forward and get up over the 10. You can hear that counting in the background. It's going to get one final play. The ball's played. Elas picks it up. He's got his man. What can they do? Look at him. He's there. He's got him. That's a touch. I think that's a touch. And we're going to get everything happening here.
They ran around the back. I'm pretty sure the touch was made. It's only if the referee thinks he touched him before he caught it. That's what the referees are talking about now. It was definitely down for the try. Nothing wrong with the sideline, Nathan. It's purely, did he have the ball when he was touched?
But I think this will be a penalty for touching before he got the ball. So I think he's touched him before he got the ball.
He stayed with it. Okay.
Yeah, which he stayed with it. So I think that's a good decision. It'd be interesting to see, given the final play of the game, whether there might be a forced sub or a sin bin. They say no, which I think is also correct. But the siren's gone off. They're going to have one last opportunity. As Buckley taps it, Elas, he looks, he dances. They come back with a late switch. Keane's there. What will they do? Elas, Keane, they're going to score. They've scored at the Coast.
The Dolphins!
They've stolen a draw.
Out of nothing.
Logan O'Brien scores, and what an absolute thriller.
Central Coast Dolphins, the cream rises to the top, and Manly, I think they won that game 2 or 3 times over. They should take a lot of confidence out of that game. That was probably one of Manly's best, but Central Coast showing the class that they have there at the Dolphins, and it's going to send everyone into overdrive, I think, looking at ladders and for and against and who crosses over against who. It's going to be a busy night for the 18s boys division.
And what a game to finish here on the stadium. A try on the bell, or after the bell, to Logan O'Brien. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just a taste of what you got to look forward to tomorrow. Tune in from 8 a.m. We've got finals day here. New South Wales Touch Football Facebook page. Thanks to Bar TV. Thanks to all our sponsors. We hope you've had a great day. And we'll see you from 8 a.m. tomorrow here from Lady Cutler, Dubbo.